welcome to China Channel 7. I'm Ron Burgundy. In today's news, local farmer Wang Lung is to be married to a slave from the House of Huang. Here's our live coverage correspondent, Brian Williams, more on that.
Thanks, Ron. I'm Brian Williams, live at Wang Lung's wedding. After years of taking care of himself, Wang Lung is finally getting married to a currently unidentified slave from the House of Huang. Wang Lung is believed to be tired of taking care of himself, so he's asked the old mistress for a wife. We are currently waiting for the old mistress to reveal the lucky bride.
What is this man doing here?
I'm waiting for the woman, great lady.
The woman? What woman? Oh, yes. I forgot for the moment. A small affair. You have come for the slave called Olan. I remember we promised her to some farmer in marriage. You are that farmer?
I am he.
We have just learned that Wang Lung will be marrying a slave girl named Olan.
Call Olan quickly. Come here, slave. Stand beside her as I speak. Obey him and bear him sons and yet more sons. Bring the first one here for me to see.
Yes, ancient mistress.
Well, go, will you?
Hi, I'm Brian Williams here with the newly wedded couple, Wang Lung and Olan. What is it like to be a newly wedded couple?
Feels wonderful. I will finally be able to sleep in the morning instead of waking to feed my father.
Interesting. Olan, what does it feel like to be finally out of that house that you slaved in for so many years?
It feels wonderful to get out of that wretched place. When I return to that house, I will be with my son in my arms. I shall have a red coat on him and red flower trousers, and on his head a hat with a small girdled Buddha sewn on the front, and on his feet tiger-faced shoes. And I will wear new shoes and a new coat of black satin, and I will go into the kitchen where I spent my days, and I will go into the great hall where the old one sits on with her opium, and I will show myself and my son to all of them.
It seems to me that you've put some extreme thought into your return. Is this so?
Yes, this is so.
How do the two of you plan on working together throughout each day?
Well, I intend on working in the fields each day, so we have a harvest to sell when the time comes. I plan for Alon to work in the house, keeping everything clean and proper.
Excuse me, but I have every interest on working in the fields with you, Wang Lung. I cannot believe that you would limit me to such child's work.
I'm sensing some tension between the newly wedded couple. Wang Lung, how do you feel about Olan's appearance?
She's not pretty, but that is good. Pretty women are always nothing but idle. They always wish for the most expensive clothes and unimportant items.
So are you happy with the marriage overall?
So far, yes, I am. I believe that Olan will be a hard worker, and she will help me obtain wealth in the near future.
Well, there you have it. The newly wedded couple is often happy. It seems the two will soon be working in the field together, preparing crops for the coming harvest. Olan shows just how helpful a woman can be in a man's life, especially if that man is a poor farmer. I predict that Olan will be a driving force in Wang Lung's life. She will help Wang Lung create an extensive source of wealth, and this will lead to their overall prosperity as a family.
That's a truly touching story, Brian. As a matter of fact, the happy couple is going to run into some major trouble in the coming weeks due to some inclement weather. Here's our weatherman, Brick Tamlin, with more on the story.
Thanks, Ron. In northern China, all hope has been lost. I recently met up with Ching and Wang Lung, both local farmers, and they fear that the only way to escape this year's long famine is to go south. With the ideas of starvation circling the north, I would advise you all to think about taking the fire wagon south if you want to survive. Here's my earlier interview with Ching to tell you more about the famine.
Hello, Ching. I just have a few questions for you about this drought that has arisen. First, what have you been eating throughout this horrible time?
In the towns, the dogs are eaten, and everywhere else, the horses and fowls of every sort. Here, we have eaten the beasts that plowed our fields, and the grass and the bark of the trees. What now remains of food, you ask? Well, nothing but the dirt of the good earth.
How has this affected your morals throughout this time?
Well, hunger makes a thief of any man. However, I told my local friend Wang that he could have some food that I saved because I am older than he, and I have no son. So it does not matter whether I live or die.
Alright, last question. How long do you expect this drought to last?
Until all the people have learned that the gods control all aspects of life.
Well, you heard it from Ching. People better start buying some incense if they want this drought to end. Wang Lung, a poor farmer struggling to survive, was grateful to be able to spread his story to the rest of the world about this horrible famine. Here's my previous interview with him. How are you doing, Wang?
Not too good, to be honest with you. The drought has left my family with close to nothing to eat.
Well, how's your new wife handling this famine?
She is very resourceful, however, she has been pregnant for a while and with nothing to eat. I fear her and the baby may not survive. That is why I was so thankful for the food Ching was able to give me.
Well, last question for you, Wang. Do you plan on going south to look for new work?
I would not like to, because when the land is lost, all is lost. However, if it comes to it, I will move to protect my family. I would advise anyone who hopes to survive to go south as well. Come on, Alon.
Well, there you go. Will you listen to what Wang Lung and Ching say and go south, or will you stay and survive on next to nothing? Whatever you do, I advise that you do not lose your morals and stay kind to everyone. Back to you, Ron.
Thank you, Brick. I'm sure our viewers will take that advice into consideration. We'll be right back with your latest news after this short break.
Is your family starving in the famine? Are you constantly selling your slave children just to eat? Then Wang's white rice is for you. We got white rice, brown rice, Spanish rice, jambalaya mixed rice, bagged rice, jarred rice, orange rice, spray rice, salty rice, peanut butter rice, banana rice, tomato rice, canned rice, Pringle rice, Pop-Tart rice, close-up rice, blow-away rice, bulk rice. Any kind of rice you want. Just remember, kids, for only 4 pence a day, you could have white rice delivered to your house for free. To order your Wang's white rice, call 1-800-GET-RICE. 1-800-GET-RICE. That's 1-800-GET-RICE. 1-800-GET-RICE. One more time, 1-800-GET-RICE. That's 1-800-GET-RICE. Call 1-800-GET-RICE. Or visit us online at www.getrice.com. Warning, may contain rice.
As you just heard from our weatherman, many families are running out of food and are beginning to move to the southern city where they will be forced into a horrible lifestyle of a family of beggars. Here's Catelyn Gunner from the southern city with a few of the citizens who have made the long journey from the north.
Hello, I'm Catelyn Gunner here with Elon. After moving to the south, Elon and her 3 children had to beg for food. On the street, they hold out bowls to receive money. Elon, what is life like living in the south?
It is tough to beg for hours for little money, although it is better than starving.
How much money do you usually receive per day?
I get around 40 small cash each day, which is only about 5 pence. It is enough money to buy the morning's rice.
How did you become the beggar you are?
So I called when I was a child, and so I was fed.
How do your children help you during the day?
The boys are young and get bored easily. My little girl is small and fragile. She makes people see how desperate we are.
How much money do your children usually receive per day?
The youngest son usually gets about 13 cash. The eldest about 8 cash. The youngest loves the money.
Why doesn't your husband help you and your children?
He pulls a rickshaw, which is less degrading. Wang Lung is too proud to beg.
How does your father-in-law help you?
All day long, he sits by the roadside obediently enough, but he does not beg. He has another mouth to feed, which is hard.
Thank you, Elon. After heading south, Elon and her 3 children have to beg for food. On the side of the street, they plead for money. Back to you, Ron.
Thank you, Catelyn. I'm Brian Williams, in for Ron Burgundy, as he is on the scene of a developing story. The women have had a hard time getting things accomplished in the South, but it's not just limited to that. Over to you, Ron.
Thanks, Brian. Tonight's special deals with the role of women in China. Women are looked at in 2 ways. The first being physical beings capable of bearing sons and working. The second are for sheer pleasure. These types of women are commonly looked at as not physical beings, but dreamlike and picturesque. Tonight, we actually have a woman by the name of Lotus, whom every day is treated as a queen because of her sheer beauty and desirable qualities. She will give us an insight in how desire can truly drive men to do just about anything. How does it feel to be treated so nicely every day?
I'll tell you, it's always a good feeling. The best part is that I can make men do whatever I want. One time, I had this man cut off his braid just because I thought it was old-fashioned. He did it without hesitation.
That sounds like quite the life. What do you think it is about you that lets you have the ability to control men?
It is clearly desire. The men want me, and they will do whatever I tell them to in order to get me.
Do you ever fear that you'll become fat and lazy after living this life of luxury?
No, I do not. I will always be beautiful, and men will always want me. Okay?
After speaking with Lotus, I had the chance to meet with a man who shall go unnamed, who spent a very long time with Lotus. He described her in terms of physical objects, nails the color of lotus buds, and her laughter was like a silver bell. He also states that her hand is like a fragile dry leaf. In the bigger picture, women like Lotus live a life of luxury not because of hard work, but because of good fortune. It is a psychological phenomenon in which men feel obligated to do anything these women tell them to do. So, for those of you who are asking, how? How do these women get away with this? Well, here's your answer, simply stated. Desire. Desire is what these women fuel on, and their source is men.
Wow, I sure hope that the women of China get a better role in society than they have now in the near future. Now, in breaking news, Olan, the wife of Wang Lung, has just passed away. You're seeing it live on China Channel 7. Here is Walter Steinfeld Gutenberg von Schleswig-Stein Huckefeld Bonamir on our on-scene reporter.
Thanks, Brian. I'm Walter Steinfeld Gutenberg von Schleswig-Stein Hochefeld Bonnesmeyer. I'm here live at the house of Wang Lung with breaking news. It is in this bedroom that I'm standing in. Wang Lung's wife, Olan, passed away yesterday. Although tragic, this death had been expected for some time. It is reported that for months, Olan had complained of a fire in my vitals. Complaints that went ignored. By the time the doctor was called, it was just too late. I sat down with Wang Lung's poor fool to get her take on the situation. After sitting down with the poor fool, I interviewed the good doctor and asked him the tough questions. So, doctor, can you tell us what happened to you today?
Oh yes, when I got there, it was just too late. Well, and I offered Wang Lung a temporary remedy for 10 silver pieces. A guaranteed cure cost 5,000 silver pieces. Too much for Wang Lung to pay. So I may not lose a good reputation. And well, there was nothing I could do at that point. The poor lady was too far gone.
Right, of course. Well, what can be said of the rumors of the gods striking down Olan with a curse due to Wang Lung's neglect of religion?
Yeah, that's not true.
Right, okay, fair enough. So, one final question. What was this temporary remedy you spoke of?
Oh, just a family recipe. Herbs, spices, dried tiger's heart, dog tooth, all very common medical remedies.
Thank you. Back to you, Brian.
And that wraps it up for today's news. Be back here.
You're not the main anchor. Get out of here. Crap.
Sorry about that. And that wraps it up for today's news. Be back here same place, same time tomorrow. A big thanks to all of our staff and live coverage correspondents that bring us breaking news straight from the source. Stay classy, China.
Is your family starving in the famine?
Hi, I'm Brian Williams here with the newly wedded couple. Olan.
Having sons and working. Second are for sheer pleasure. Sheer, is that a word? Sheer. Do you ever fear that you'll become fat?
Well, Queenie, see the thing is...